We have with us Mr. Sami Darbashi, producer of the film House Prison. Mr. Darbashi, welcome.
Thank you.
After seeing this film, I thought that the abundance of unimaginable life stories coming out of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is staggering. And this is just another proof of it. How do you even approach the protagonists who literally live in a house prison? Mr. Hajjajla even says at the beginning of the movie, their lives became an semi-open prison.
Yeah, well, I'm residing in Qatar now. I live in Qatar. So the producer, we have a producer in Jerusalem, and she approached the family. And at the beginning, they were afraid because, it's difficult to get somebody inside. And they were afraid that if the Israelis saw a film crew going in, they will make problems. So it took a long time for us to convince them that we will get permission. We will not go in without the Israeli permission. So the field producer kept trying to get the permissions, and we got permission for one person, but then they agreed to get the permission for 3 people, but with one camera, and we managed to get more than one camera inside. So it was difficult. It wasn't easy, and the family were afraid of the Israeli reprisal against them. So we got it done, but it wasn't easy. And we were planning to have a lot of time, longer time with the family, but we couldn't. So we got whatever we can in a very short time.
So you basically had to get the permission from the Israelis?
Yes, because there's a lot of cameras around the house, so you can't get in without their permission. I mean, you will put the family in a difficult situation if you go in without. If they open the gate for you and the Israelis saw somebody coming in without their permission. So.
Okay. Does the story of this family illustrate the real life behind the wall that on one hand Israel calls a necessary security barrier and Palestinians call the apartheid wall? Is that the Palestinian struggle? Is that the story behind? Is that the message of the film?
Well, the message of them is you have the owners of the land. You have the right owners of the land, and they were separated from their village, and they put a fence wall against them. So the message is there's the occupier and there's occupation, and the occupation must end. These people have the right to use their land as they wish. So you don't have a right to imprison people in their land. That's our message.
How do you feel that is there any possibility for any kind of change in this case for this family? Is there anything they can do? Are there any more steps legally, any other kind that they could make for their situation to change in any way?
No, well, I doubt it because in recent history, if you hear the news about Jerusalem and Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood, usually the judicial system work with the occupiers, not with the occupied. So we don't think there will be a solution for the family. Any solution will be for the occupiers and their benefit. So.
For me, watching this movie, there was this, at first, a banal detail in the film, but it stayed with me the whole time. One of the sons at first says that the Israelis refuse to give them more than one key, and it is not possible to make a copy. And the gate cannot be opened from the outside, only from the inside, which means that only one of the 5 members of the family always must stay at home. And for me, this was both painful and staggering, just to see this, that somebody made this an option and somebody made this the only option. But then on the other hand, as hard, as difficult this is to comprehend from here, from safety and from a normal life, they do find happiness in small details. I mean, you work with them. You work with those people who live in unimaginable circumstances, and yet one of the sons is happy with his donkey, and they still dream of going to universities. So what are they like? I mean, what are those people like who live these things but yet have happiness and have hope?
You know, the Palestinian people have been living with occupation for a long time. I mean, they've been through wars, they've been through a lot of difficult life. So they adapt and they are resilient. So they will always find a light at the end of the tunnel. So they have hope always. And I mean, the Palestinians usually say, if you don't have hope, your life will end. So all the families in the West Bank or in Palestine inside the 48 occupation, they all have this hope that someday we will have our freedom and we will live, and the Israelis want us to be miserable, but we will show them that we'll be happy. We'll have wedding parties, we will have the normal life that people have, to show them that we will live. We are here to stay. This is our land.
For the end, how many people face similar destinies? Yes, dictated by the wall in this case. We know you mentioned Sheikh Jarrah, Silwan, and all the other places where at this moment there are problems with evictions. But just the wall in this case, how much did that change people's lives?
Well, I mean, people's lives were disrupted enormously because in West Bank, the plans of these governments, the elite governments in Israel, is to divide even the state solution they have. They have this Palestinian state in pockets. So it's all of the lands are divided into small pockets, and it's all surrounded by these walls. So there's a lot of people in the West Bank are suffering from this situation. Not one family, not 100 families, a lot of people. A lot of farmers who cannot get to their farms. I mean, they live in one side and their farms in the other side. So it's a suffering for a lot of people in the occupied land, and unfortunately, nobody's paying attention. Especially the big powers, are supporting Israel, and nobody's looking for these people. Well,
at least you helped tell their story. And thank you for that, and thank you for talking to us and for having your film with us at the AJB Doc. Mr. Darbashi, thank you and all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.